Hello viewers, and welcome to today's video, which has been long overdue for a couple years now. The topic of today's video? Well, that would be the unboxing and review of the Mega Construct Pokemon Build and Show series, or as we call it here, the medium Pokemon lineup. I know in past videos I've already shown most of the packaging for these sets and talked about my initial thoughts about them, so I will pretty much just jump right into the review part and only elaborate on the one or two sets which I did not include in past videos. Sorry it's taken me so long to get around to making a proper review on these sets as I promised, but I figure since I waited so long, I can make it up to you guys by unboxing them all in one video. A big bulk unboxing. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for waiting, and without further ado, let's get cracking.
One eternity later.
Alright, I'm back, and to start off the review section, we have Mew! Mew's build was honestly pretty fun to construct, and I love how the design turned out in the end. Definitely one of my favorite Pokemon in today's video. Here is everything this set comes with. Mew's detachable from the stand, so you can display her floating or sitting. It connects on the bottom of the feet with these joints here. And while I think they would look better if they're clear, I'm not going to fault Mega too much, as that was before they implemented that design idea. But otherwise, the stand is pretty nice. Here are all the extra pieces you can get this set, and wow, I forgot how many extras they used to give out in these earlier sets. Like, you would almost never get this much in the newer sets these days, so this was a nice surprise. And moving on to the figure itself, Mew was so darn cute! This figure is honestly super nice. It has great leg articulation at both the hips and the foot, so there's plenty of posing potential. I love messing around with the legs, it's so satisfying. Mew has two tiny arms, which look a bit odd at first, but blends into the design the more you look at it. Mew's head is supported by this sturdy ball joint here, so it has stability and great movement. But my absolute favorite part of this build is Mew's tail. It is so fun to mess around with the posing since it is so long, and you can come up lots of unique positions if you fiddle with it enough. Honestly, that's just worth it buying this right now. The tail, I love long tails, I'm guilty. Overall, I really love Mew's design and how they brought out all the best qualities of this Pokemon. The build is fun, the size is good, and is a great figure to put on display. Good job. Next up, we have our good boy Charmander. His build is overall pretty good, and Mega did an excellent job of converting Charmander's basic style into a larger and slightly more complex build. Another one of my favorites today. In this set, we get a fire breath piece that you can use to make Charmander look like he is spewing fire breath out of his mouth. I will elaborate more on that in a minute. Here are Charmander's extra pieces, and good gravy does he come with a ton. His set probably comes with the most out of all of these today. And lastly, here we have the boy, Charmander. Overall, I think Charmander's design is quite nice, despite him looking quite derpy in a front-facing view. And on second thought, he looks quite derpy from the side as well, but at least he has a nice neck rotation. Charmander has a lower jaw which you can open and close depending on if you use the fire piece or not. He has two small baby arms similar to Mew, some excellent leg rotation for both the hips and his feet, while it is somewhat limited compared to Mew's range, but I absolutely love the claw detail on his feet. It's beautiful. And lastly, we have Charmander's tail, which has just the right amount of articulation and posability for a figure of this size. The only thing I would have changed is the size of the fire on the tail tip, as it looks too small for a Charmander of this scale. But other than that, I think this little guy is such a cutie. Here is Charmander with a fire breath piece in his mouth, and while it would look nice normally, they picked way too long of a connector piece, and it just looks silly with how long this piece sticks out. Not to mention how painful it looks for Charmander, choking on this piece being jammed down the back of his throat. With some slight tweaking, I think this idea could have been executed better, but it still looks nice enough, I guess. Overall, I think this Charmander is pretty good in terms of the scale he was converted into. Probably the closest thing we'll ever get to a scale-accurate fire salamander to sit on our fingers like a little gentleman. To complete the original trio, we have Meowth now. Meowth surprisingly balances himself out pretty well considering how large his head is in proportion to his body. Overall, quite the nice Meowth figure. In the set contents, we have this nice clear stick with a little speech bubble attached to the end of it saying, "Hiya!" Very nice to display Meowth with, I like it. We have his extra pieces, again, quite a few compared to most sets today. And of course we have the Meowth figure himself, and he is looking quite cocky. Overall, the design transferred quite well over to this size of figure. Due to the size of this ball joint, he doesn't have a ton of movement, but just enough to get it by with what you need. He has 2 ears, which will move up and down. They can't really move sideways at all due to the head sizing. The whiskers, they don't really move, but they are kind of rubbery and flexible. He has very nice arm articulation at both the shoulder and the elbow. He has nice leg rotation at both the hip and the foot, and he has the same excellent articulation like Mew does, probably due to the foot design being similar to Mew's. And of course we have his tail, which looks very nice. Here is Meowth with his speech bubble in place, and I personally prefer to display him like this. It just has some nice charm to it, you know? Also, with the inclusion of the speech bubble, I'm pretty sure this set is implying that this particular Meowth belongs to Team Rocket, just based on the human word it uses, so I thought that was a pretty nice detail. We miss you, Team Rocket. Overall, this is a great figure. It does justice for Meowth, it looks good, and it reminds us of the good old days. Next up we have our little lad Bulbasaur, and oh my goodness, he is so cute. I love his size, his build. He's just like a tiny little toad sitting in your hands. It's so cute. Here are the contents of a set. This is back then when they were doing their whole Pokeball pin gimmick, so here we have a, Premier Ball pin. Yeah, not too bad, kind of plain, would actually prefer the whole Premier Ball, but I'll let that beef subside for now. Here we have our extra pieces, not a lot, but just enough I guess. And then we have the little boy himself, look at that little face, oh! Taking a closer look at the figure, here we have him. He's a little blocky, bulby guy. He has some decent head rotation. I, for some reason, didn't think he was going to have it, but due to where it's located, it's somewhat limited, but it's very good for going side to side. He has a lower jaw, which can open up, but when he does that, it looks like some eldritch entity, so I recommend not doing that very often. He has, nice little stubby legs. The front one's taller than the back, but all have excellent rotation for what they do, and you can put him in a variety of nice poses. He has 2 vines, which, come out of his back, and you can pose them around. They're super fun, and it's one of my favorite parts of his build, honestly. And the bowl on his back, you can actually open it up like this. I don't think you're supposed to, but I mean, it's a design perk, so, it's cool. Other than that, I love him. He just feels like a big toad sitting on your hand. He's the perfect size and will make an excellent addition to your desk or workplace and keep you company like a little buddy should. Alright, here's our boy Squirtle, and for some reason, you guys absolutely love him and been waiting months if not years for him. I'm not kidding, there is over almost 2,000 views on his original video and several comments asking when I was gonna unbox Squirtle, so this is for you loyal people out there who've been wanting to see your boy for all this time. Here are all the contents of his lovely set. Here we have his water attack piece, and I say water with quotation because that doesn't really look like water, but it's good enough I guess. It comes on this nice pull so you can move it all around, get really that action feeling. I will say this part is very loose, so try to be careful with it as it will fall off very easy if bumped or something, but other than that, it's an okay water piece, I guess. Here we have the dive ball pin, which, again, my feelings of the Pokeball pin, so I'm glad they later discontinued this, but for what it is, it's okay. These are the extra pieces our boy comes with, and here's the little lad himself. Squirtle is honestly such a well-built, thick, chonky boy. Here's his neck peg. It works a little bit interestingly. It has a okay range like this, but due to where it was built around the head, it is somewhat limited. He has 2 tiny little stubby arms, which are actually pretty cute. 2 decent bottom legs that are built similarly to Bulbasaur's and have that same range of movement. His tail is pretty nice, with a nice range of movement and feels pretty solid to accompany the rest of the figure. Ooh, but can we just admire how nice that shell sculpt is? So good. And even the front, the way everything looks, it's so peak. And there you have it. That's our boy Squirtle. I hope it was worth it to all you fangirls or fanboys out there waiting for this particular review. There you go. There's the little Chad for all of you guys. Mwah, beautiful. Okay, before we talk about Eevee, I just wanted to quickly show the packaging, as I know I did not cover it in a previous video already. So here's the front of the box. Eevee looking good, looking pretty. Gotta love that Eevee on the corner. Very excited to see that new custom rubber fluff piece. Flipping the box over, we see Eevee standing in a nice meadow with some alternate pose forms you can display him in the top right. He is looking absolutely adorable in that over-the-shoulder shot. And down here in the bottom right corner, we have other available sets, which we are already well aware of. Okay, now here's the part where I would show you all the contents of the set, but this is literally all there is. This is honestly pretty unusual because I can't think of any other set where it doesn't include any extra pieces after the main build. You should try to be very careful when building this set just to keep track of every piece, because if you lose one, you are screwed. So try not to lose anything. Moving away from the unusual aspects of the set, the Eevee build is honestly super adorable. I'm surprised it took Eevee so long to get a figure in the series, but I'm absolutely loving the scale for him. He has some excellent neck rotation here, just so free. I'm loving it. I absolutely love the rubber neck piece here. It actually attaches really sturdy on with going around both arms and the neck. So it stays on really good and holds its form amazingly. He has both ears on ball joints, so they can move like really nice range all over the place. Love that big upgrade from the small figure, and just adorable face, love it. His legs are pretty good. They have, decent range at the shoulders and the little feetsies. Not a ton, but just enough for what he needs. Here we have his tail, which is like a drill at this point with how big and pointy it is, but I still like it. It's a fun spin on things. And they even remembered to give Eevee some cute little paw beans on the back of his legs here. Very nice detail, very cute. Conclusion? Eevee is adorable. And look, they even remembered to add little scruffy hair on the top of his head like in his actual canon artwork. It's like, it's so cute. I love all the extra details they were able to add in this larger scale. So overall, I love this medium Pokemon glow up. The quadruped build is so fun to construct. The small details of Eevee were able to be brought out. And honestly, I think the size for an upgraded Eevee figure is perfect. Next up, we have the lad Pikachu. And for all the different forms and sizes he's been reiterated into in the series, this one is honestly not too bad. He's actually kind of like cuter than normal, I feel like, in this form, so that's something. Here's everything this set comes with. He has these two cute little lightning bolt electric pieces, which have this little peg at the bottom, so each one can be inserted right below the cheeks here and look like he's actually shooting out electricity. Here are the extra pieces we get this set. And here is the figure itself, and it's actually kind of cute. They definitely managed to capture Pikachu's natural chonkiness in this bigger form, which is much appreciated. But the coolest thing I find about the figure is that with the neck joint positioned where it is, Pikachu can be displayed sitting upright or on all fours. I personally love keeping him on all fours just because it is so often overlooked that wild Pikachus can actually do this. We are so used to seeing Pikachus on two legs that we forget they can switch between both. I love that detail so much. The back legs are built on these circular pieces so they rotate in this one-way arcing motion. Not bad. The feet can only move from side to side. The arms have decent rotation. The ears are very limited on movement due to this piece here, but I will show a workaround for that with the other Pikachu model. Markings on the back look nice at least, and the large tail is pretty fun to mess around with. A solid figure overall, and with these holes here under the cheek, you can insert the lightning and they stick out like this. Ta-da! Overall, the scale of Pikachu build is pretty neat, and it contains qualities that I prefer to the smaller scale models. A fun build all around. Bravo, Pikachu! Next up, we have a familiar face yet again, and two new ones with the Pikachu Evolution line. Honestly, these guys, they're pretty neat. And I think it was an interesting idea to make an evolution line in the medium scale, so maybe they would do this again in the future, who knows? Here's everything this large set comes with. Here are Pichu's little electricity pieces that remind me a lot of Sparklers with the way he holds them in his little hands. Here is Raichu's big thunderbolt attack thing. Looks pretty nice. Here is the classic Pokeball pin, and here are the extra pieces that come with each Pokemon build. So they actually get a somewhat decent amount per each little build, so, that's cool. And yeah, then it's just the figures left. Let's go. Oh, and also real quick, I just want to acknowledge how cute the interior box design was. Like, oh my goodness, I love it. Each little compartment with a tab with the corresponding Pokemon face and all the pieces just sorted so beautifully. It's been so long, probably since like the every evolution set, that I've seen such beautiful separate packaging. And here's a little picture I'll put up with each section looks like opened up. So yeah, I just have to show that real quick. So cute. Here is Pichu, and the first thing you'll probably notice is that he has a really big head. It's actually quite surprising that a ball joint this small can support a large head like this. Pichu's got some weird half-smile smirk thing going on, and it kind of makes me feel like drop-kicking him as far as I can. Pichu's got some nice earpieces with good rotation at least. Quite like them, actually. The young lad is built like a literal chibi right now, but at least he looks cute while holding his sparkler electricity pieces. The feet can only go side to side like this, so you have to be mindful while posing him so he doesn't top over on accident. He also has a cute little tail on a ball joint back here, and okay figure overall. Next we have Pikachu. Again, from Pikachu's appearance in this set compared to the single pack, almost nothing has changed besides a few visual differences. They're basically the exact same figure. The new Pikachu is sporting this angry face here and looks like he's about to go slap someone. I also fixed the problem with the ears by removing this block on each side of the face, so Pikachu's ears have a wide range of expression now. He looks like Baby Yoda, but we don't talk about that. This Pikachu comes with an exclusive iron tailpiece only found in this set and is completely covered in these shiny metallic blocks. Honestly, the silver color is so gorgeous. But other than that, this figure is identical to the single pack Pikachu, so pick your poison. Lastly, we have Raichu, and he is a decent figure minus a few issues. He definitely has the most disappointing head rotation out of today's lot, as he can only spin left to right with no way to look up or down. The ears are alright, they don't have a wide range of motion either, but I do quite like the new custom rubber pieces, so it makes up for it. Raichu has good arm movement, as expected. His build is much taller and sturdy built compared to the others, so that's a nice visual change to keep things fresh. His legs work the same way Pikachu's does, and his feet can only move from side to side also. The biggest flaw with Raichu, however, is his tail, which is kind of sad since I love long tails so much. While the design is similar to Mew's, the large tail piece combined with the attack makes the whole thing very heavy, so it's impossible to pose it freely without having something to prop it up with. It's a shame since the attack does look very cool on the tail, but you will have a much better chance of getting a good tail pose with the piece taken off the build. It still sinks down eventually, even without the attack piece, but you generally have an easier time posing like this at least. I still like Raichu overall, but it is sad that he has the most issues out of all of the Pokemon today. We'll get him next time, Raichu. All in all, this was an interesting set idea, and the Pikachu evolution line was converted into the medium Pokemon lineup quite well. I wouldn't mind more sets like these in the future sometime. As a fun bonus to today's video, I also decided to include the Detective Pikachu and Celebration Pikachu medium builds to the lot. I know these aren't technically a part of the build and show series, but they still count as medium-sized builds, so they get to join the others. Just a quick look at what both these sets come with. They come with the main build. Here are also the extra pieces. That's for Detective Pikachu. And this other bag is for Celebration Pikachu. Honestly, yeah, that's really all they come with. I guess a few exclusive accessories for each, but otherwise they're like pretty much the same build. Here is Detective Pikachu, and there's not too much going on visually with him. He has a nice sculpt to bring out his chunky body, but other than that, he looks like a regular Pikachu. Size-wise, he's a bit bigger than the rest of the mediums, but not by too much. He is fairly heavy, so be careful to not drop him on your foot, as that would really hurt. The main gimmick these models both share is this head spinning feature where if you rotate the head, their arm will raise. Detective Pikachu basically gets to do this, so it's kinda cute, kinda dumb, but mostly cute, I guess. Both arms can't be moved freely on their own, but the arm attached to the head mechanic needs to be placed a certain way so it lines up with the face correctly. Pikachu does have 2 tiny feet which don't do much, but are quite accurate to the model used in the actual Detective Pikachu movie. Pikachu has 2 rotatable ears which feel a bit small on him compared to his size. Go figure. We do get this awesome detective hat piece, which is easily one of the best parts of the set. The last feature this set has is the moving tail mechanism. With this spring at the base of the tail, we can basically rock the tail back and forth and get it to bounce around. And there you go, that's basically a look at our boy. And while we're at it, we're just going to take a quick look at Party Pikachu. Basically everything is the exact same about him, but he comes with a cute little present he holds in his other hand, and a festive little party hat with a little rubber spiky bit at the top, which falls off really easily. But other than that, he's cute, he's festive, and that's it. And there were our last 2 contestants of the day. Overall, not bad. Definitely good for special occasions, as these were created for, and, you know, nice little addition for the medium squad. One additional thing I would like to quickly talk about is this 4-pack here. I did not get this because there is really no need. I can almost guarantee you the exact same builds as you would get from the single packs, with just some very slight differences. In the 4-pack, the only new additions you get are slight changes in the face and those little base pads there. Otherwise, it's not worth it to buy both. If you want either one or the other, go for it. It's not necessary to get both. Just pick one or the other and you'll save yourself quite a bit of money. The last thing I would like to show in today's video are all the instruction manuals. They look very satisfying, all laid out like this. Ooh, I love it. Mwah, beautiful. And just a quick little look at what they look like in the inside. You know, pretty average, you know, for the middle ones. I'll quickly show you the Detective Pikachu one, as his is very large and it is specially decorated for the occasion. Very nice. I do like the bright colors. And here's a little look at the Celebration Pikachu manuals. I have no idea why it came in 2 parts. There was no need for that, but it looks like this, if you were curious. Just another little additional thing, I wanted to show a size comparison from the smallest normal scale to the mediums to Greninja to Detective Pikachu and Dragonite, which is currently my largest built Pokemon, just so you can get a rough idea of how big these actually are. And whew! I think that is a wrap. I'm finally done. I've covered everything from top to bottom. And there you go, guys. These are all the build and show or medium Pokemon, whatever you want to call them. All of them together, all reviewed, all done. Okay, that feels good. I hope you guys like it. It was fun to finally get this crossed off the bucket list and get it done for you guys, as I know that I've been needing to do this for quite a while now. And I just want to thank you guys for being so patient with me, and yeah, I really appreciate your support. I genuinely ended up liking these more than I thought I was. I don't know, I was a bit scared just because of the larger scale things. I was worried how much bigger this is going to take up in my limited space, but I actually love the size. They are perfect. I love them, and they are just so cute and adorable for like sitting on your desk or a shelf or something, and honestly, I really love them, and I feel bad I was already judging them before I got to know them. So this has been an informative day for all of us. And yeah, I think that's all I had to say. So I hope you enjoyed. If you want, you can like, comment, subscribe, do something along that. We're working on getting to 2,000 subscribers now, so any help is much appreciated. And with that, I hope you guys all have a lovely rest of your day or night. And remember to stay groovy.